What's up YouTube, this is Joe from Zephyr War Games, and literally as I had already recorded and uploaded this profile as well as combo, the ban list dropped. So things have changed, mostly Verte has changed. As you can see, this is a Sunavalon Predaplant deck with big shout outs and help from Action YGO. I'll post his original video down in the description below if you want to check his out. Bear in mind again, it is a pre-ban list video. But yes, so I had to make a small change to the extra deck and a change to the combo. You'll see that in the combo below. You'll see that in the combo afterwards. But yes, so if you enjoy this, give us a like and subscribe down below. Ding that notification bell, because obviously if you enjoy a person's content here on YouTube, you don't want to miss out on that content, and that notification bell helps prevent that. All of that is greatly appreciated, and we thank you guys so much for doing so. So with all that said and done, let's get into this post-ban list Sunavalon Predaplant deck. So starting off with the Sunavalons, it's just 3 Loki and 2 twin. I like 2 twins. I like to make sure that one's in my deck for my spell card to resolve my soaring, so I like to play the 2. It just makes me feel a lot more comfortable playing the deck. For the Predaplants, we're playing 3 of the brand new Predaplant by Slips. It's a rotor for the entire deck for monsters. So long as it's just sent to the graveyard by any means, you get to search a Predaplant card, Predaplant monster. And if you control a monster with Predap counters, you can then revive it, but then banish it when it leaves the field. We have 2 of the Scale 0 brand new Predaplant Dufluskia, I can't pronounce it, but this allows you to once per turn fusion summon a dark fusion monster. And then if it's sent to your extra deck face up from the field, if it's used for fusion material, you get to recur a face up pendulum Predaplant that isn't itself. And then we have 2 of the brand new Trients. This lets you use your scales as fusion material, and if it's sent to your face up extra deck when used for fusion material, you get to put predator counters on every monster in the field up to the number of monsters you control. Very, very strong cards, and much needed for the Predaplant deck to work. 1 copy of Orphis Scorpio, 1 Darling Cobra. What's great now, Darling Cobra, that you can resolve off your fusion monster, so it's a lot more consistent than just using it with Orphis Scorpio. 1 Strician, searches every card in your deck. That's Predaplant. And then 1 of the Chimera Sundew. We don't play hand traps in this deck. Oh, and we don't play multiples of Darling Cobra, if you want to know why we're not doing that. Because instead of playing multiple copies of this to resolve their effects, you just play the Sundew. That way your entire combo still gets to be played, because Sundew is a nice option for that. So I want to get this centered now. Damn me knocking my things. Next, for the spells for rotors, we're playing 3 copies of Unexpected Die, 3 copies of Painful Decision, and 1 copy of 1 for 1. I was playing Lone Fire before the ban list hit, and then I changed it to Painful Decision because getting hit on the Painful Decision hurts much less than getting hit on a Lone Fire, because you just now use your normal summon. In a more Sunavalon focused pure deck, I would play Lone Fire as well, but in this hybrid variant, since you have to use space for the Predaplant cards, I think Painful Decision is a much better option. For your Sunavalon cards, 1 Shrine, 1 Sowing. If you open up the Sowing, that's fine, you just add Shrine, and then you have a nice extender and a recurring for later. 1 copy of Instant Fusion. We was playing the Predaprime Fusion spell, but because of Verte getting hit, we don't actually need to play that card, and we can't. You could play if you wanted to as an optional target, but you're seeing the trap cards line up that there's a trap card that just is a much better target to searching that. In its place, I'm playing 3 copies of Avarice. You could play the new unbanned Change of Heart if you wanted to. Still can't believe that's unbanned. But yeah, I'm playing just 3 Desires Avarice instead, because Avarice, you would burn through your extra deck so quickly, and you burn through your main deck as well so quickly. So being able to just have one of these in your opening hand to just recur your extra deck back, so that way if your combo gets either stopped or your board gets outed, you can just literally do it all over again. which is just so good to do. For revival and extenders, we're playing 1 Bread of Pruning and 1 Monster Reborn. And then for hand trap killers, 1 Called by the Grave, and my personal tech is Salesman. I've been playing this since Pure Sunavalon. I just think it's an underrated budget card alternative to stop those hand traps, because you just want to be able to stop that one search blocking hand trap like Ash Blossom, things of that nature. So being able to just play a Salesman, stop that card from being used, and then in games 2 and 3 you can then use this card to hit more important cards, or you can just, you know, put in your side deck cards. It's completely up to you. So I just like Salesman. I think it's a bit underrated at the moment, so it's just something I'm personally taking. And to run up the main deck for traps, we're playing 1 Sunavalon Bloom for your Link 4 and 1 Predaplanting for your Predaplant. And then 3 copies of Imperm, probably the only hand trap I'm playing, but can also just work as a normal trap card. That's it for the main deck. Moving on to extra, 2 copies of the brand new Predaplant and YUGIOH. Just takes 2 Predaplants. You can summon it off Instant Fusion as well. It's a lone 5 for Predaplants. You can tribute a monster, summon a Predaplant from your deck, and on summon adds a Preda card, basically a Predaplant card, which is absolutely phenomenal. 1 copy of Dracostopedia and 1 Chesterfield. These are the main Predaplant fusions you summon for your first turn board. I basically built this deck and edited it from Actions 1, where I want to use Predaplants for my first turn, and then Sunavalon going second for the rest. So that's kind of my mentality of building this deck and playing this deck. For links, we're playing 3 Dryas, 2 Thrashers, 1 Healer. Just pretty much self-explanatory and standard for Sunavalons. 2 Jasmine for your Link 2s. This was Jasmine and Verte Anaconda, as well as another another Sunavalon Link 2. But because of the way that the combos now work and how your end boards turn out, you can't play Verte because it's banned, and you don't need the Sunavalon Link 2. So I'm just going with 2 Jasmine. You can just swap out Jasmine for the Sunavalon Link 2 if you really wanted to. That's another option that you can do. It's something I'll probably look into trying out, because that Link 2 can, you know, recur some of your resources back. But I just think 2 Jasmine is just fine at the moment. For Link 3s, the 1 Melius. Would love to play more if I can fit it in. And then for Link 4s, Banlist and Brienne today. 2 stun Link 4s, depending on which situation that you want. So that's it for the deck profile. I'm just going to zoom out and just quickly show you how the 1 card combo works in this deck, because, you know, yes, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything wants to have 1 card combos now. So long as you can get to Loki, it's pretty much how it goes. So you normal summon your Loki, you link it off, and you go into your Dryas, self-explanatory. Dryas goes off, grabs you your Saring, you play your Saring, you get you your twin, and you take 1000 damage, chaining 1, chaining 2, twin summons back your Loki, and then Dryas summons out one of your Sunvines. I use one of the Thrashers, because you need your healer in a moment. So you link those 2 off, and you go into your Jasmine. You link your twin off into a second Dryas, and you link off your Loki to go into your healer. This targets Dryas, giving you 300 life. This triggers Jasmine, searches you out a plant. So you search out your new BDS. Use Jasmine, tribute one of these 2. I tribute the healer because you can end on the Dryas, as you'll see in at the end of the combo. So you summon out your Orpheus Scorpio. Orpheus Scorpio ditches the level 1 and summons out Cobra. And you go chain link 1 Cobra, chain link 2 BDS. BDS adds any one of your pendulums. Cobra adds you your instant fusion. You then play instant fusion, pay 1000 life points, and summon out your brand new Ambiguous. He then adds you another Predaplant, so you add your second scale. From here, you then use your level 5, tribute one of these two, and you summon out your Cerescient. And then you scale your pendulums. And now you have one of two options that you can do in terms of trying to maintain the old combo that Action made. So you can either, and it all depends on what you want to end on. So what you can do, you can use your scale to just fuse your ant. You can fuse your ant and your ambiguous and go into Dracostopedia. This triggers the ant and grabs you your Predaplanting. And then you can use Drius and Orthoscorpio. Go into your second Jasmine, and then you can use those two to go into either Driantade to search out your skill drain trap, or Bangidiosa for a summon bounce. So this is where you end on basically a skill drain and a monster negate by putting Predator counters. A trap that can then just stack Predator counters on everything your opponent's board. You have a bounce on the Bangidiosa, and then the card you send a Predaplanting is going to be a Bisiep, who can then search you out a Predaplant monster when it's sent to graveyard and is then an extender for the following turn. You then have your two scales still in place, so you can then, you know, if you have two Predaplants out on your following turn, you can make this guy, you can insert you another card, and then you can go off from there. Alternatively, you can rewind all of that. So you would have this in play, this in play, this in play, this in play, and this in play. Again, alternatively, you can go fusion, use all of these, go into Transfemian Hydra. You can then link these two off. Go into Jasmine. This triggers the ant if you want to. You can also trigger your pendulum scales to add you one of your scales back. So you would add this card back. The ant then triggers grabbing you any of your Predaplant cards. So it would either be Predaplanting or your Predapruning, either one of those two. And then you just turn your two Jasmines into Driantade, and then Driantade adds you your blue. So you end on a similar end board, but you get a skill drain, one time skill drain, thanks to Driantade. You get a summon negate off the Hydra, and you still keep your Drius in place. So if you do take damage at any point, you can summon out your Thrasher, make it 4k, and then you have a 4k beta on your following turn. So that's another thing that you can end on. But that, guys, is the Profile Plus combo. I hope you all enjoyed it. I feel there's a lot of potential still in this deck, even with the hit of Verte. You can still end on pretty good boards, similar to what we had before the hit. But what we had before the hit was you can end on two Link 2s, being the Verte and the Jasmine, as well as the Dracostopedia, and the Hydra, along with the trap. So that way you would have skill drain and summon negate and two Link 2s. That way you can extend on your following turn. Unfortunately, you can still end on both, but you're just not having the same number of extenders as well. I think alternatively this might be the strongest board, because you keep the Drius and you get your boss monster on board in terms of the big tree and your Hydra. The Hydra can just revive itself on the following turn, and then with the resources that you get, you can just make Dracostopedia on your following turn anyways. So guys, that's it. Hope you all enjoyed it. Like, comment and subscribe. Till next time, as always, stay safe, and of course, happy dueling.